So we do have a couple trade rumors to discuss. One of them is involving one of our guys, Kenneth Walker. This has been going around for months, even before free agency and before the draft, and it sort of has been amplified after the draft because if you recall, they did take a running back, did
Yeah.
Seattle in the 6th round, Damian Martinez from Miami, I think it
Uh,
was.
Trying to look up
I
the
think it was the
round.
6th round from Miami,
That,
so
that might have been the fifth.
5th round, okay.
Yeah, 5th or 6th round. Yeah, somewhere in there.
So
Which you don't derail your running back room for a 5th round draft pick. I'm just saying.
no, but here's the only reason I'm like, okay, I'm not for a trade of Kenneth Walker, but I'm not entirely against it either. And the only reason I'm not against it is because of the giant ass running back room that they have, which they have. It's Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, McIntosh. Now Damian Martinez is there, and George Holani, who's in there also, was a rookie last season. So they got 5 half decent backs in an offense that is predominantly zone scheme to like downhill, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm willing to hold on to him until the trade deadline, and then if it comes out and says like I don't know if the Dolphins for some reason, okay, hey, we'll give you a 4th or a 3rd round pick for Kenneth Walker. What do you say? Because the Dolphins need a running back.
Well, that's funny because it seemed like they had like 18 of them not too long ago.
Yeah, Mostert's not there. HA's
Right.
still there.
Yeah.
And then I think it's like 2 other unknown guys.
Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson,
I
is
think
he still
Jeff
there?
Wilson's still there. Give me a second. I'm going to check our.
Yeah, well, they had the former 49er duo of Mostert and Wilson in Miami for a couple
Alexander
years.
Madison still from the Vikings.
Wow.
He's new.
No.
Yeah, that's we
Don't
saw
do that
how it
to
worked out
yourself.
in Vegas
No,
last year for
don't
him.
do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Jalen Wright, who's a 4th round pick last year, he's there, and former Seahawk tight end Farrell Brown's there.
Well,
So yay, whatever. But it's Devon A. Chain's their top guy. But here's the report right here. I'm going to put on there. Underrated Seahawks. This is from John Afrano of Sports Illustrated. One may not expect the Seahawks, who ranked 28th in rushing offense last season, to have some. They have a lot of depth. They do. Who is Kenneth Walker, 2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year finalist, is the leader of the running back core, but there's also Zach Charbonnet, 2nd round pick, Kenny McIntosh, and Damian Martinez. So this article came out a couple weeks ago, May 3rd, as we're recording. I'm not for it, but I'm not against a trade of Kenneth Walker because the whole, not to say the whole Rashad Penny PTSD is coming back to bite me a little bit, but Chris Carson as well. But then I have to remind myself, oh yeah, Pete's not here to run the same dang running back into the ground.
Well, and it's also I feel like Chris Carson, he ran very hard. I think Seahawks fans are too forgettable about his tenure. It was better than you realize. If Chris Carson did not get that neck injury, you could make an argument that he would have played for more years and probably been good for more years. He was forced to retire because of that neck injury.
It sucks.
Yeah.
You can't mess around with necks, okay?
No.
You know? Because the whole rest of your body is attached to that, so you can't.
Yeah. You kind of need it. Kind of need it. And, I feel like I've been talking a lot, so I wanted to give somebody else the lead on this.
No, you're good.
But I am conflicted about this one because I can kind of see the logic behind it, right? Because Kenneth Walker is injured sometimes. And with the zone block, you're more educated about it. Both of you are probably more educated about it than me. I'm not as great with the X's and O's, but as I understand it, they're going to be looking for more of a downhill north-south running attack with this, and Charbonnet and McIntosh fit that bill. But the thing is, Kenneth Walker's talent, I think when he is healthy and on the field.
When he's healthy, he's their best offensive player.
Yes, you cannot now, especially with DK being gone and some of the, you cannot argue. Kenneth Walker is who the offense should revolve around.
Yes.
When healthy. So, and they're finally addressing the offensive line and they're changing the scheme. I feel like you don't get rid of Kenneth Walker right before you're about to make these changes. And what if he tears it up? Devil's advocate here, because you said hang on to him until the trade deadline. What if he absolutely tears it up to start the season? And then what do you do? Maybe you can get higher value for him, but I don't think you should move him at all.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you in that argument because they do have running back depth. Holani is still there. They did give him a tender. McIntosh could be the third guy. I'm really excited about Damian Martinez. I'm pumped about him. I saw a lot of tape from the University of Miami, and they got a couple Miami guys on here.
Yeah, the tight end.
Oh, yeah.
Arroyo also.
Oh, yeah.
Which Kevin, you and I were like, and then we recorded the episode, and we were like, he's okay.
Yeah, he's better than okay when it comes to catching the football.
Yes.
But he is not a blocking tight end.
No, not at all.
Okay. So that's not going to help your running game. So
no, but it's the Walker news to me, it's kind of like maybe it's John Schneider going, I don't want to pay him a lot of money, but at the same because of the Chris Carson PTSD or the Rashad Penny PTSD or Thomas Rawls.
Yeah, Rawls.
Rawls was a big one because Rawls got hurt
Thomas
fast.
Rawls. Yeah, I did.
Before Thomas Rawls broke his ankle, he was solid.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have 4 good running backs. It really doesn't.
I'm absolutely opposed to any maneuvers with Kenneth Walker.
Agreed.
You can never have enough running backs, and running backs are back in vogue in the NFL.
Yeah.
After, they would take 6th and 7th round picks. Saquon Barkley put a stop to that.
And Alshon Jenti, too.
That's right. That's right.
Ashton Jenti.
Ashton Jenti, yeah.
And so you can't have enough running backs. I think Kenneth Walker is going to have a healthy year. And we all like Charbonnet, I'm sure. But Kenneth Walker is a much better running back than him. And you don't want to do a maneuver, especially because the draft is over. Okay? We're getting ready to get into the camps and everything. You don't make a move at this point. You don't do it.
You don't. What does help him also is also the running back depth.
That's
because
right.
You can get the rotation of the other 4 guys in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Kenneth Walker. You have to rush for 1,500 yards. No, you can rush for 800, 900, and the other guys can run for 600 each.
Right.
And you'll still have an effective offense.
That's right. And he could catch, if he's on the field less, but I think his touchdowns numbers will increase. And so don't be, messing with, put the wrenches away and stop messing with the engine at this point. Just make sure it's got oil and let it roll.
Yeah.
What does help is that in 11 games Walker played last season, he had 7 touchdowns and over 500 yards of offense. Well, it's not bad.
No, it's not. And he's shown, because I would argue, okay, Charbonnet is he's a bruising running back, north-south. McIntosh, I haven't watched enough. I would have to go back and review some of the stuff. But
he's fast.
He's fast, but it seems like he is also more of a north-south runner. Kenneth Walker is the one that has proven that when healthy, he can create when the line, isn't holding up so well. So to me, you don't get rid of that. And also, ironically, the one coach who I would entertain a Kenneth Walker trade with just drafted Ashton Jeanty because you know
that's the other one. Yeah,
you know that Pete loves Kenneth Walker. He was here when he drafted him. So you could probably get a little bit more from the Raiders for Kenneth Walker, but they just drafted Ashton Jeanty, who I think is the perfect pick for them and probably what Pete wants to do. So that kind of takes it off the table a bit.
Yeah. Hard to say. It's really hard to say, guys.
Well, I say it's not hard to say. Just leave it alone.